Bloody thing. Sorry about that. Well, I asked you what I asked you. How's it going? I was doing this at the start of the stream to capture the thumbnail, because whatever you go live with, that's the thumbnail that you get. So I was just trying to hold that position, see what happens. Doesn't appear to have worked. Bloody amateur hour, fucking muted. Anyway, nice to see you in the chat there. I was just saying, yeah, coming to you live on a hot Sunday night. Just gonna do a short one, maybe like 40 minutes, just because I was like, why not? Why not? Gotta keep it regular. But yeah, I've got no subjects really that I want to talk about. I don't think. Maybe go over some things. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me get my little thing, my bottom text. And as usual, we've also got the 90s camcorder in full effect. There we go. But yeah. Bloody muted. I can't believe I fucking did that. I don't see how that's possible, because that's like, it's a toggle. So in order for that to have been already off, I have had to have clicked it, but I would never have done that. So it beggars belief. It really does. Let me just do a little audio check. Wait, I know what I can do. Wait, can I do that? Oh yeah, I know what I can do. No, I can't do that. I just do it like this. This is what I do to check my audio. Because I'm shit at audio stuff. Can I do that? Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what I can do. No. Fuck it. Sounds good enough to me. Got messages. Whoops. So yeah, Sunday night stream. Is it Sun? Yeah, it is fucking Sunday night. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I'll do. You got to get your links, haven't you? Spread your links about. Just go down here. Yeah, I've been watching the. I've been rewatching the Alien Romulus trailer. My last stream was indeed a live reaction to that, and it was a bit anticlimactic, because I was a bit like, I thought it was going to be like a full trailer. It wasn't, and I was a bit like, what? But then I've subsequently rewatched it a few more times, and there was an interview with the director Fede Alvarez, and I was like, he's got the eye. He knows what's what, does Fede. So I'm feeling a bit better about it. Copy. I'm feeling a little bit better about it. Jack says, lots to make up for, honestly. Let down. Talk about that Gary Eddy upcoming movie. Lots to make up for, honestly. Let down. Who? What? I don't know what that means. Talk about the upcoming movie. Yeah. I mean, I to be honest, yeah, I have. I'm still pretty excited for it. Well, we'll get into that. I was going to put in the. Do you think I should put in the tweet? Fuck it. I'll just put it on that. I'll just put live on a hot Sunday night. It's not hot. Well, it kind of is actually. It was all right today. How do you spell gander? Live on a hot Sunday night. Have a gander. Is it gander? Yeah. Yeah, boy. Jack says he didn't direct it, but did you see? Move that window. Texas Chainsaw from Fetty. I didn't. I heard mixed things about it, and it was like some people, just the usual stuff when there's a new thing. It was like some people said it didn't live up to the original, and some people were saying it's something new and that's good. So no, but I didn't see it. I'm not against it though. Looks kind of interesting. The first Texas Chainsaw is probably one of my favourite films. Well, it is, and I'd argue it is the greatest horror film ever made. We were talking about that last week, actually, fucking 3 days ago. Because part of the reason that inspired Ridley Scott to make the original Alien the way he did, like a B movie but with an edge, is because he was so inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Tobe Hooper. Let's put a little comedy hashtag. Joy. Although it's Sunday, so I could put like holy or something. That'd be pretty wacky, wouldn't it? The fuck should I put? Fucking joy. I'll do. Is this? Oh, the fucking... Why has it done that? The thumbnail looks like I'm picking my nose. In that link, I just posted a link on Twitter to the stream, and for some reason it's pulled the fucking frame where I'm like this. Fuck's sake. Why not this? That would have been fucking... Wow. That would have been like... Had a bit of something to it. Let's just double check this works. You might hear some playback here. Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck off. Okay. Texas Chainsaw, yeah. You're quite... I don't know if you're still here. You're quite into Texas Chainsaw, aren't you? Would you say that's one of your favourite films? You've seen all of them, haven't you? I feel like I've seen you tweeting about Texas Chainsaw. I've literally seen the first two. The first Tobe Hooper ones. And that's it. Getting texts from people. So yeah, Alien Romulus. I mean, I have to say, you know, my tune's fucking changed from the other day. It's weird, isn't it? Like I think because that was my first watch, and it was like I was on camera. So you're not really, no matter what people say, you're not really being you, are you? Because you're on. So you know what I mean. But then, and it didn't. It just sort of washed over me, and I wasn't really paying attention properly. I don't think. But then, like I say, I've watched it again, and I've gone, all right. There's a bit more to it. It's not, you know, and that was obviously helped by what he was saying in that interview, for why he's picked certain things and done certain stuff. Jack says every sequel. Wait, what? He says he loves the first two Texas Chainsaws, but 2 feels like a spin-off more than a real sequel. Yeah, I love that second one because it is so. It's like the chaser to go with the first film. It's so different and like refreshing and just insane. But what else could you have done to follow that up? That's why I like it, because it's so like OTT. But the colours, it's so colourful and comic and like cartoony and creative. Like that's what I was saying. Like the other day, the last stream, like the first film feels like a documentary. Like you shouldn't be seeing it. It's like this like feels like real people. Like it goes on too long. And it like moves so slow and so weird, and it's like, yeah, that's why it's so good. Every sequel since is a massive gamble that usually doesn't pay off, yeah. But the remake 2003 was good. I'll keep that in mind. I might have to go through them all. Yeah, 2 is fucking mental. Let's share this fucking link. Oh, I fucking think that went through. That'll do. Yeah. Toby Hooper, man, he's great. So did he write it then? If he didn't direct it, or did he just like exec produce or something? I haven't seen any of his films. I haven't seen Don't Breathe. I haven't seen... What was the other one he did? Well, regardless, I haven't seen it. But I did see his short film that was on YouTube, the Panic Attack, which was what got him the gig for Evil Dead. See how I jog my memory there. Evil Dead, yeah. So, which, I mean, I watched that Panic Attack and it was alright, but I don't think it was... I've seen better stuff on YouTube from, like, unknown people. Did he direct Poltergeist or not? I don't know. I think he probably did, with heavy oversight from Spielberg. But I do quite like the conspiracy theory that Spielberg did it, but kept quiet about it because he was on contract, and it was like, oh, you can't direct anything if you're on contract to Warner Brothers or whoever it was. And it's very, very Spielberg, but he produced and co-wrote, I think. Was very involved, but then seemed to distance himself a bit when it went to Netflix. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what he does for Alien. Ridley Scott seen it, said he was great. Said it was fucking great. Is the exact quote. Turn this bastard music down. Fuck. Keep it there. So yeah, you know, James Cameron seen it. So he said it was good. And what was interesting is because there's some stuff going around now about like CGI. He's put out an article talking about CGI and this and that and being taken out of context and stuff. But in that article he says that he showed Ridley Scott it when there was no CGI, which is interesting. What did Cameron say? I think Cameron said he liked it, but he gave some notes. And Fede was saying they both gave notes, but Cameron's were totally different to what Scott gave, which I was like, well, that makes sense because they're very different filmmakers, aren't they? But yeah. Oh, my hat's a bit skew-if. My bonnet. Where is every other fucking cunt? It's just me and you tonight, Jack. I'll drink this. Let's hydrate. Get the hydration going. There's no noise gate on my mic yet. I haven't put it. I turned it off so you can hear my swallow. Hear me swallowing. Ooh, that's good water. The other thing as well I noticed about that Alien Romulus, a lot of the cast are British, young British actors. I think there's like Like 70% of the cast is Brits, which is cool. And I think, did they film it in Britain? Yeah, I guess they did. So that makes sense. Well, you don't need to do that. You don't need to retweet the link from Outpost, mate. That'll be like that'll be, well, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? If it's not Jurassic related, so don't worry about it. Delete that. Oh, I thought I could talk about the whole the situation on the with that account that I fucking trolled. I didn't mean to troll. That wasn't what I was doing. But yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, just to summarise, just so it's on record for my own sanity, my own personal satisfaction. This account spreading stuff that, to my eyes, reeked of nonsense. It was just made up. It seemed made up to me. So I put a little plan in motion, didn't I? Put a little plan in motion. I was like, right, let's just see how let's see what his process is like for whether or not something is valid, and what procedure he takes towards verifying something, proving something, checking his sources. And it turns out he does none of that. This geezer does none of that. So, sure enough, I sent him some fabricated stuff about the upcoming Jurassic Park film. Straight to the timeline. No filter. He's like, that sounds good. I'll post that. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. I wasn't surprised, because you can tell that some people are so furious, so feverish for new stuff and to be first with stuff, that he ate it up. But yeah, I mean, I did get a big laugh out of it. I know it does feel like kind of duplicitous to do that, because I basically lied to him. But my justification was that I was just bullshitting a bullshitter. Turns out it can be done, and it can be done well. Mr. Schmakerman says, good evening. Good evening to you, sir. How's it going? What you're up to tonight? Just been talking about the Twitter situation. I've been addressing the allegations, so I haven't. I don't know if you're still here, but I'll just message you back on here, Jack. Yeah. Fuck it. Bloody retweet me on the fucking Jurassic Outpost account. Shit, man. Just put no worries. Let me send this text and I'll get back to you. Oh yeah. There we go. I'll do. Just enjoy the beats while you wait. So yeah, that's the moral of that story. Don't hang on every word of random fucking accounts that come out from nowhere and claim to know stuff, because they fucking don't. Unless it's like some journalist or film industry, like a confirmed insider, just don't, you know, just let it lie, because they just want attention. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I wonder if I could no. We've got Zool in the chat. Says Arunkov is real and you can't change my mind. I'm telling you, he is. He's grown beyond my imaginings, and he's now like a real. He's a real thing. He's a real deal. He's an entity, and this proves it. He worked his magic. He worked his evil magic through me to appear in the next Jurassic Park film. Part of me was hoping that it would that this scoop account would have left the tweet up a little bit longer, because it was only up for like, I don't know, maybe a day. But I was hoping it would get picked up by more people. That would have been so funny. What I don't get is, like, all he had to do. Like I said, I've heard. Apparently they're auditioning parts for the next. The antagonist in the film is a shady businessman called Arunkov. That's literally it. That's all I said. Now all he would have had to do, the most basic research, Google the word Arunkov. The third result from the top is my fucking Jurassic Park 3 video. I don't know. It would be. It's so easy to just falsify. Not falsify. The opposite of verify. Yeah, that is falsify, isn't it? Well, anyway, it would be so easy to just find out that it was fucking like something else completely, and he didn't do that. He posted it. He's lost credibility. It's as simple as that. I'm actually doing a service. I'm thinking of my fellow Jurassic Park fans not being misled. That's what I'm doing, and that's a very, very nice thing of me to do. Fucking scoop accounts, Jesus. But yeah, Arunkov. Hey, look, check this out. Speak of the devil. Ooh, there he is. I think I've explained it before, but it was just something totally insane. I needed like a figure for the Third Time's the Harm documentary if you're completely lost. I don't even know where it came from. I just had this idea that I wanted Joe Johnston to be like fall into this occult type situation where he gets like he succumbs to the tendrils of this ominous, mysterious figure that comes from Eastern Europe, and like as a cult that follows him and stuff. And this was the guy, Arunkov, Ushba Arunkov he's called in the film. Totally fabricated, made up. That is a Photoshop that I made from like some guy that believed he was Jesus in like the 60s or something, or the 80s. Something like that, in the 80s. And like, look at all the people there in that photo, that's real. Like, they really thought this guy was the second coming. And like, he used to wear robes like that and shit. Fucking insane. But I replaced his head in this photo with the guy who played Gandalf in the Soviet production of The Lord of the Rings. Which, if you haven't seen it, get that googled. Soviet Lord of the Rings, because it's a recently discovered like tape that was broadcast. It's fucking great. But something about the guy who played Gandalf in that was so spooky that I thought, that's it, perfect fit. I'm going to use him. And there evolved the character of Arunkov, who was like an evil son of a bitch, who has this religion called Force Think, where you just imagine something and you ruminate on it and meditate on it and it becomes true. It was basically just like a piss take of like manifest. Them accounts that are like, ooh, you have to hashtag manifest and it'll come true. Write down in your book the 3 things you want the most in the world, and if you think really hard enough about it, you'll get it. It's like, fuck off. I mean, I'm all for positivity, but that's insane. Manifesting it. I manifested this. No, you fucking didn't. It just happened to you. You cunt. Anyway. Dana Manzul says, that's the thing, isn't it? Most just wants to get the scoop as quick as possible without doing the minimal amounts of research just to be first. Exactly. Like, he came back with me after he'd found it out. Somebody must have told him. But he came back to me and was like, trying to justify, like, oh, you know, it's all about... It's not really spoiling stuff. If I find out something like the villain is called a Runkov and he does this and he does that, and if I post about it first, because it's just it promotes like curiosity for the brand and gets people excited for the film. Not really. If you're saying the film's got a fucking like half of that stuff, if it were true, would have been a proper fucking buzz to like find out about while you're watching the film, or from an official source or a trailer or some shit, you know what I mean? I don't know. The Stage 12 Bush Factory plot was great. Yes, Ed Verreau. I mean, that came about. Let's get rid of him now. Back to the void. The whole weed grow inside the studio was like, because everyone, if you watch the behind the scenes of Jurassic Park 3, everyone talks about how they built this set that was a fully contained environment. We could control the temperature, we could control the light, we could control the water. It rained. I was like, well, growing weed, obviously you're gonna fucking have a weed growing it. It was too perfect. And then it just became, how many fucking weed jokes and ganja jokes can you put in? And it was funny. Simple as that. I thought it was funny. Mr. Schmackman says he totally forgot about this. I haven't been up to date on Jurassic stuff recently out of uninterest and what we're talking about currently. I don't blame you. To be honest, I am as well. Like, I'm looking forward to the new film. I think it could be a winner. It's got a lot going for it. The Scarlett Johansson stuff, I'm a bit. But it was every fucking couple of days. My entire timeline would be all these. It'd be some fucking either this, and everyone would just be on about it. This account has posted this. Could it be real? You know, the Jurassic City. That's what set me off. Jurassic City. Everyone went, "Oh my god, the new film's called Jurassic City! Quick!" And I still see people on fucking Reddit and shit like that saying, "So the new film Jurassic City is going to be coming out," and it's like, it's not called that. In what fucking realm could it ever be called that? Basically, everyone was being dumb. No, I'm just joking. But it was annoying. And this scoop accounts coming up with absolute bullshit, or ChatGPT generated synopsis for the next Jurassic film, but they'd redact certain words so it somehow seemed more plausible. And people were giving this shit the fucking, don't give it the time of day. That's what I was thinking. I understand people are excited for the new Jurassic Park. Yippee hooray! But some stuff looks, on the face of it, alright, that could be kind of credible, interesting. Or it's from an actual, like, an insider account, like InSnyder, or whatever the fuck. If you called fucking Timmy's Super Scoop on fucking, you know what I mean, habbohotel.com or some shit like that, like, don't waste your time on it, because they're just doing it for attention. But everyone was jumping on everything they were saying, man, this geezer. I've heard this, I've heard that, I've heard this, I've heard that, I've seen this, apparently this is that. And there's other ones as well that are like, I went down the rabbit hole that are like trailer accounts, and it's like, yep, the trailer for the new film is ready, it's going to come out soon. The trailer for Beetlejuice 2 is ready, it's going to be coming out tomorrow, it'll be 1 minute long. The trailer comes out that night, and it's fucking 30 seconds or something, and he goes, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that," and nobody calls him out. Nobody says, "So you were fucking wrong then." And they're fucking raking in the views, man. They're raking in the fucking likes, especially on Twitter now, because if you can make money from it. So there's fucking, you know what I mean? It's a fucking free for all, is what it is. But yeah, so I'd seen all this, and I was getting a bit fed up with all the ranting and raving that people were doing, the hyperventilating over some nonsense that somebody was tweeting. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking get involved here. And I was like, yeah, either the film's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. The entirety of what I said to this geezer that he subsequently reposted, I didn't even think it was that. I mean, I made it sound like semi-plausible until it got to Urungov. And I was like, he's not going to post this. He did. But it was like, I said it was set in 1993, fucking 5. Scientists go in. A covert task force goes in to help the scientists and stuff evacuate before the hurricane. But secretly, that's a cover, and what they're really there for is, I don't know, something else that I didn't divulge. I didn't come up with. Presumably, it's some secret research. I don't fucking know. But I based that on 2 things. People were saying it was an extraction thing, and the other thing was that they were filming in Hawaii. So I just went, all right then, they're going back to sauna. Fuck it. That was it. That's all I based it on. I didn't say anything about human hybrid serum, so that he's just made that up, I think. But that's about it. Hurricane Clarissa, 1995, Covert Task Force, and that was, all of Gareth Edwards' films have got military geezers in doing stuff, going on fucking missions, So that was that. Simple as that. No more thought put into it than that. It's basically just Dino Crisis. The plot of fucking Dino Crisis. But he ate it up. Like, he didn't ask, how do you know this? Where have you got this from? Fucking nothing. And then the next day, it was fucking on his Twitter account. It was on his page, and people were going, "Whoa, this looks like a real deal here. It's 1995. It's got this. It's Hurricane Clarissa. It's this. It's that." Meanwhile, I'm fucking chuckling to myself. And then he kept messaging me back. He was like, "You got any more for me? Like that fucking. Got any more of that fucking the fucking Dave Chappelle gif?" And I was like, "Fucking hell, all right then." the villain's called a Runkov, and he's a shady businessman. Meanwhile, it's just this fucking cunt. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it. But then me being me, I immediately felt very bad, and I was like, "Oh, great. Now I feel like a cunt." And there's an argument to be made. But like I said, you know what I mean. When he figured it all out, I guess someone must have told him. But he came back to me, and he seemed like apologetic, and he was like, "Yeah, you've taught me a lesson here. I shouldn't just post stuff without thinking. I'll do better going forward. We all can learn. We all can grow. So I've done everyone a service. You should be fucking thanking me." No, I'm just joking. Mr. Schmackman says, "Not sure how I feel it needs way more time than just 3 years. Pretty sure they had to push back the Batman 2 a year, which they think they should do for Jurassic Multigalactic City Park World." I mean, it's not massively rushed. Like, it's not. They've had the script ready and all that sort of stuff. So they're not doing too bad. It's not. People are saying it's rushed. It's not really. The schedule's. It's pretty good. I imagine. Azul says, "Siki here didn't even use AI to fool the community." No. Nope. I don't know. I guess if there's any lesson from the whole thing, it's to just watch what you fucking, you know what I mean, sharing. I don't know. Or just do what you like. I don't actually care. I don't care. I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it, so there you go. Fuck it. But that's the thing, it's like the whole leaks and stuff, movie leaks, and it's like you say, people are excited about the new things, and I've been there because I'd said this on another stream. I knew half the fucking. Someone posted loads of dinosaurs that were going to be in, or sent like a list of all the dinosaurs the new dinosaurs that are going to be in Jurassic World 2, and the whole plot. And this is the Indoraptor. Like I knew about that fucking Indoraptor like more than a year before the fucking film came out. And I was like, ooh, you know, you get a bit. It is a bit of a buzz because it's like, ooh, I know this thing. It's an Indoraptor. It's a raptor hybrid. It's proper gnarly. It does this. I knew what it looked like. I knew all the fucking dinosaurs. So it is. I understand that it's like, ooh, insider information. But really, it's like, fuck it. It's better to just learn about shit. You're only spoiling yourself, you know what I mean? You're spoiling yourself. And you're just feeding the attention whores on fucking Twitter and YouTube and shit with all the bullshit that they come out with. Anyway. Hey, Big Shark's in the chat. Says, how's it going, everyone? Alright, Big Shark, what we talking about? I was just going over the whole Scooper situation on Twitter, and now I bamboozled him right good and right proper. Stupid. It's stupid, but yeah. With great information comes great responsibility. Responsibility not to share the information. Half the fucking messages are covered up by a love art here. What does that even do? If I click this love art, what happens? Oh, it just tells me to sign in. And now I can't get back to the fucking chat. Oh, great. Fucking great. Can't see the chat now. It's literally gone. I wonder if I can close it. I'll close it. Whoops. I'll close it back down and open it again. Is that going to refresh? Yes. We're back in business. Yeah. I mean, I know fucking like. Just isn't it? It's almost more special if you come into the knowledge of certain secret information. It's more special if you just keep it to yourself. Like I know stuff about fucking Jurassic Park that'll make your head spin. But it's more. It's you know, it's cooler to keep it to yourself because it's like, you know what I mean. I know something about the fucking first Jurassic Park film, and I can't share it, so I shouldn't really say it, because this is just being as much of a cunt as anyone else. That maybe 4 people know in the world. One of them is Spielberg, one of them's fucking Sam Neill, one of them's Joe Mazzello, and then there's 2 more, and one of them is me. What do you think about that? Let's do some bad stuff before he can see the chat again. Ah, I can see it. I've been able to see it. So you've missed your window of opportunity there. Did you see the Beetlejuice 2 trailer? Yeah. Checked it out. It was alright. I thought it was I thought it was funny that they were burying the dad because obviously for obvious reasons he's not going to be coming back for the second film because he's a nonce. He's a Hollywood nonce. Rest in peace. The actor's still alive. I think he's still alive. What's he called? I can't remember. But the dad from the original film, Beetlejuice, He's a nonce. He's a bunty man, confirmed. So he ain't going to be back in it. So he's dead in the film universe. He's dead. Although I saw people saying, well, that just means he can come back as a ghost. I don't think I don't think this cunt's coming back as a ghost. So I'm curious to see how they handle that. Like, so in order to not use the nonce character, the nonce actor again, they've had to kill him off, which is kind of a standard thing that films do. It just so happens that this is a film series where ghosts exist and come back. So how are they going to handle that? Jeffrey Jones. What I'll hope they do, and it's very edgy, very Tim Burton, and I think it would be suitable for Beetlejuice, because Beetlejuice is a little bit close to the edge. You know what I mean? It ain't for kids. But if when Beetlejuice resurrected and he comes back in the table in front of Winona Ryder and he's like, the juice is loose. What does he say? The juice is loose, kidder. All right, I'm Beetlejuice. The juice is loose. Let's get this show on the road. He's like that. You know, and Winona Ryder's character goes, "Oh, you're back! I can't believe this. This is crazy. Hey, have you seen my dad while you've been down there? Have you seen my dad? Is he just in the spirit world?" And then it's just one line that Tim Burton has to come up with, where Beetlejuice goes, like, "Oh, we put pieces of shit in hell. He's in hell," or something like that. That'd fucking chuckle me. If he's like, "Have you seen my dad?" She's like, You don't suppose my dad can come back, do you, Beetlejuice?" And Beetlejuice like, "I'm sorry, kid. He's in a place you don't come back from." And then he looks at the camera and goes, like that. Jeffrey Jones ain't going to be in that film, I'm telling you now. That's a pretty good impression. What, in his Yorkshire accent? I don't think Beetlejuice is Yorkshire. You fucking... Anyway. Pretty good impression, Beetlejuice. "All right, kid, it's me. It's, I'm Beetlejuice. I love being a bastard, me. Let's get this show on the road." That's what he says, isn't it? Beetlejuice's catchphrase. "Say my name 3 times and we'll get this show on the road, kid. He," and then he's down the graveyard. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that film, I think. But yeah, I think it's you do want to just go and dismiss it as like, oh, they're doing fucking Beetlejuice again. Fucking nostalgia bait. But you know what? Don't be cynical. Like, who wouldn't want another fucking Beetlejuice? And they all look great. Beetlejuice looks great. Keaton still looks good. Winona Ryder looks basically the same, which is kind of weird. Catherine O'Hara is fucking mint, man. Catherine O'Hara's she's great. Let's get them all back. Let's get them doing all the songs and the comedy and stuff like that. I think, do we know if Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin are back in it? I literally can't remember what happens in Beetlejuice. Do they go to heaven or what happens? No, they just live happily ever after, don't they, as ghosts? Tim doesn't give a shit about nostalgia. Well, there you go. So that's why it'll probably be interesting. But, so yeah, I'm curious to see. Turn that down a bit. I'll fucking put it there. But like, imagine that you're sitting in the fucking pictures in the cinema, and you see, like, I'm hoping the film has a cold open, and it's like, well, I don't know, whatever, the inciting incident, it sets the scene, Beetlejuice, whatever, and then it's like something big happens, and then it cuts Beetlejuice or whatever as the title screen, and then that fades, and then it's like the first film where it does the fly through, and then it's just like titles, and it's like fucking Danny Elfman, and the titles Michael Keaton. That'd be fucking class. Fucking class. Great score, Danny Elfman. What has Tim Burton done any other sequels, like after, like, late sequels of his old films. I'm drawing a blank. I know not. I don't mean like Alice in fucking Wonderland 2 and all that. I'm trying to think. Here, that you can't. Oh, I'm covering it up here. This painting here, just off the frame. Oh, fuck, wrong camera. This here that you can just see the frame of is an original Tim Burton. It's like a limited edition print that he's signed. He's got his signature on it. Yeah, I'll fucking grab it. Whoa! What do you think of that? Or you'll see the fucking... Look, there's his signature. Tim Burton, down here. What's weird is it kind of looks like it looks almost, it's very similar to my real life signature, which is, you don't know my real name, but it looks very similar to that, which is crazy. There you go. Jack says he's got to shoot. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the retweet and then the not retweet. Yeah, see you later, man. Let me put this on here. Wait, let's stand it up over here. Actually, it's only plastic. Yeah, Tim Burton. It's one of his wacky drawings. I fucking love Tim Burton. I've said this before, but I was like an OG Tim Burton fan. Like, the first film of his I saw was Nightmare Before Christmas in 1993 as a child, and that fucking went in my brain. That I loved it, and I continued to love it and used to do little drawings, try to copy his style, right up until like secondary school, and then the fucking Hot Topic and the emo, all the emo kids suddenly got into Tim Burton, and it was like they'd start bringing out all the bags with fucking Jack Skellington's face on it and shit like that, and I was like, oh, I had to put a bit of distance between me and the Burton, because it was like, oh, you like Tim Burton, you must be a goth or a fucking emo, and I wasn't. But that's all kind of gone away now. Well, it hasn't. It's still, Disney still fucking push it like crazy. But no, I love Tim Burton. I love his sense of humour. He's a proper monster kid. He loves the classics. He loves Vincent Price. I mean, Vincent Price's last film was Edward Scissorhands, you know what I mean? I just like his imagination. Like the colour, the naivety of his drawings, they're just good. The horror, the classic horror, classic sci-fi, Mars Attacks, Ed Wood. Fucking Ed Wood's probably my favourite Tim Burton film. I love that fucking film. Ed Wood, class. Edward Scissorhands, class. The Alice in Wonderland films, shit. What's that one he did? Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Kids. Mid. Dumbo, didn't see it. Planet of the Apes, shite. Frankenweenie, class, both versions, the animation and the original short film. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, class, classic. What else has he done? Beetlejuice, classic. Fucking Dark Shadows. I quite like that Dark Shadows. Not his best work, but I quite dug it. What else has he done? I'm trying to see my fucking DVDs and shit. Well, anyway, yeah, man, it's I've always liked him. I think this one will be good. Beetlejuice 2. I made a joke on Twitter about, I've got a good title for the third film, Tim, because it'll be Beetlejuice. Then the second one's Beetlejuice, and the third one, Beetlejuice has got to be, and that'll be the final one. I think that'll be fine. Oh, I haven't put my camera back on. I think that'd be pretty good. Turn the music up a bit. Put it there. Yeah. There's Vincent Price up there, look. That's his head up there, that top one. So yeah, Beetlejuice 2. It was going to be called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, wasn't it? Like, he was asked, oh, are you going to do a Beetlejuice 2? And he made a joke at the time. What would it be? Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, and he just goes on holiday to fucking Hawaii. But then he was like, actually, that's so lame, it's almost funny. And then that's what he wrote. And I think it was going to be called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. Whether or not that has any bearing on the film anymore. Obviously now it's called Beetlejuice, but you never know. Let's dip into Twitter. Find some shit to talk about. Quality fucking sucks on YouTube. Yeah, I started streaming the other day. The last stream I did, I first went live, and it was my settings were still in 4K because I was screen recording something. So I was doing a stream in 4K, and it was a little bit choppy, but it wasn't too bad, you know, because the quality was so much better. But I kept getting dropped frames, so it wasn't feasible. Yeah, I was laughing because Jack was like, hey, I'll retweet you on the Jurassic Outpost official channel. And I was like, yeah, I mean, thank you very much, that's amazing. But it's not like his Jurassic news source, don't my fucking weird ass fucking face clogging up your timeline, you know what I mean? Like, people are following Jurassic Outpost for Jurassic fucking stuff 24/7. They don't want this. They don't want this pumping up. They're like, the fuck is this? But thank you very much. But he rescinded it. Late Night with the Devil. I just seen that on Twitter. The controversy over them using an AI image. AI generated image, which is very shitty, and the image like looks like shit. And there were artists going, here, I've just made this in 2 seconds, you could have just paid me to do this. So rightly they're getting dragged for it. If they knew certain things about that Alien Romulus film. But as we've previously discussed about leaks and spoilers, let's not go any further than that. But apparently there is some heavy use of artificial intelligence to generate a character's voice. Let's leave it at that. So when people find that out, how long have we been live for? I might call it there. We're heading to the hour, to be honest. I could care less about AI discussion. Yes and no. I do think it is evil. Although, before I went live, I finished watching Steven Spielberg's AI, so that might have coloured my perception a little bit. Although the robots are good in that, aren't they? Yeah. You never know. I think AI, the implementations of it that we're seeing now, particularly around art, is where I'm most concerned. Can get to fuck, because it is fucked up. There's no two ways about it. AI should never be used to make art. That is something that is the one human thing that we do. It is intrinsic to the human experience. Like, no animals don't do that. It's just us. I mean, some fucking monkeys and elephants and shit do, supposedly. They don't know what they're doing. They've just been trained for a fucking peanut. Hold this paintbrush jumbo and paint a fucking canvas for me. It's not doing it because it's an expression of its fucking inner turmoil. Anyway. But robots can't do that. And shouldn't. It's just fucking shitty. And the amount of fake fucking news. That's the other concern, by the way. Right now, people are just making pictures of cats on fucking scuba gear on the fucking moon, and dinosaurs riding fucking horses and shit. Like, whoa, look how crazy this is. It's just starting to be used to, like, for fake news and, like, fucking disinformation and stuff like that. It's all over Facebook. Just this week, Russia tried to make a Ukrainian guy look like he was a Ukrainian official was claiming, like, the Moscow attack. He's like, oh look, I shouldn't have said that, because now we might get a fucking thing on the bottom of the screen like, do not, go to this link if you're concerned about. Anyway, like, they literally, or some affiliated Russian Federation people that push this fake. Yeah, it's a fucking deep fake. The cunt's not. It's just a picture of his face, and it's semi-convincing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the way it's gonna go. And it's like, it's all well and good saying, oh, it's just art, and it's just a tool to help promote the spark of creativity. Yeah, well, it's not going to be. What about if it, like, someone invents an alibi for themselves for the murder they just did? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're saying I couldn't have possibly killed her. I was filming this video of myself dancing over in the pub with all my mates. Here we are, look, and it's like AI generated, because some of it's getting good now. The AI, if you look at the finer details, you can see stuff doesn't look right, and it morphs into each other, and people appear and disappear. But at a glance, on a phone especially, no one's gonna fucking know. I wouldn't be able to tell. Never mind, like, old fucking boomers. You show a fucking boomer, like, a picture of, like, Godzilla, and they're like, oh my god, where's that? When did that happen? You know what I mean? So some of this shit, we need, it's moving faster than we can regulate against it, and that's the problem. So yeah. The world's got to evolve. I mean, technical innovation is one thing, but this isn't that. I'm all in favour of, like, certain aspects of society getting revolutionised to promote more free time for people. I know people are like, the robots are going to take all our jobs. That's good. That's kind of good. If then society is free, society becomes free to just do nice stuff, do fun stuff, play sports with each other, and create art and express themselves. Because I'm one of them cunts who thinks that everyone's an artist deep down, if they just express themselves somehow. Like, they just never get the opportunity to do it. And it's not a bad thing. Like, if there was a way for it to work when all of the labour was done by machines that didn't have brains, by the way, fucking Butlerian jihad style. I don't, there's an argument to be made. It's an interesting proposition that it could be a good thing if humanity was just left to do fun stuff. You know what I mean? You should read. There's a really good essay by Bertrand Russell called "In Praise of Idleness," where it talks about being idle, doing fuck all, and how good that is. And you shouldn't be, like, people go, oh, he's born idle. Like, that's a good thing, because it means you get to do all this other shit. Anyway, that's your homework for this stream. Read Bertrand Russell's essay "In Praise of Idleness." It's fucking wonderful. I love Bertrand Russell, man. Right, I'm kind of hungry, so I might go. We've been on an hour. I said it was going to be a short one for Sunday, for the Lord's Day. What did we cover? We covered Beetlejuice. We covered the Scooper situation. My little prank. Haha, I got you. We talked about Romulus a little bit more. We talked about AI. Talked about Tim Burton. I'm happy to call it there. It's just about keeping it a regular thing. Like I say, I don't make fucking money from this. It's just for something to do in it, something fun. I'd only be sitting watching fucking YouTube videos then going to bed. I might as well be talking shit, you know what I mean? It's a full moon tonight. That's probably why I'm so fucking raged. Let's have a little play with this. Yeah. Let's go all the way out. All the way out. All the way in. So how about that? So there you go, Sunday night. It is a short one. I mean, it's still a fucking hour. But yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. The start of this stream was like a minute of I muted my mic. So I know you can like edit them and cut the start off, but then it like has to process for like 3 fucking days or some shit. Hey, we've got Terrordome in the chat. He says yo, and I say yo. Back to him. I was just kind of like wrapping things up, to be honest. Terrordome. Just a short one on a Sunday. But if you wanna, you know, we talked about Romulus a little bit more. We talked about Fede Alvarez a little bit more in his career. Talked a bit about Beetlejuice 2. We had some great laughs about Beetlejuice 2. What else did we talk about? Tim Burton. We talked a bit about me pranking the scooper, getting the dunk on the scoopers, if that's what you say. Shame it's a short one. Could jump on. Well, I could go a little bit longer. What do you want to talk about? Like, if you got a rant you want to get out your system. Hey, I'll tell you what then. If you want to jump on for a little chin wag, Terrordome, which I'd like to do. I'd like to talk to you. That'd be fun. Shoot the shit, as they say. We'll do a little extension. I'm gonna hit the be right back screen because I'll let my dog out. I'll come back. We'll have a little chat. He says he doesn't want to repeat stuff you've covered. Well, you've set it in motion now, so you're gonna have to. Sorry. I was out the door and you pulled me back in. So now there is some stuff we could talk about actually. There is some stuff we can talk about. So yeah, jump in my Discord chat and then we'll get on. Well, on my the voice chat should work. Even if we just say like a couple of sentences and then we'll fuck off. We have to do it now. Right, 10 minutes. Right, I'll be like 2 while I just open my door. All right, be right back. Okay. Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm back now. A test. I can't believe I started with it muted. Don't know how I did that. Fucking muted the bastard stream. It's a bit too obnoxious. Fuck's sake. Won't stand up. That's gonna fall. Oh, I can't leave it like that. It's gonna fall. Balls to it. Tell you what, I'll just put it back on the wall. I'm still here. Big Shark says, you watch anything good lately, Sicky? Yeah, I watched Steven Spielberg's AI, as previously mentioned. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it was one of those that was a bit like people sort of, I wouldn't say panned. Oops. I wouldn't say panned, but it's not considered one of his best. And I mean, that's his best is so good. Then you know what I mean. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's proper sad, man. It's so sad. It always gets me to do like welling up. You know what I mean? Hey up. Where is he? Huh? Oh, he's here. That was cool. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me alright?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, God. How's it going?
Good, yeah, sorry, I had your stream playing and it started ringing. I was like, hang on. That's
Yeah,
me calling you.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think.
I'm good. I'm making coffee, so.
Oh, sweet.
I've got a kettle in the Terrordome now, so I was boiling the kettle. I didn't want it to start the stream.
I was thinking I was thinking the other day, I want a kettle in my. I mean, I know that's ridiculous, but get a little mini fridge,
That's not.
milk in it.
Yeah, I just went to the range.
Kettle. Yeah.
Got one for 15 quid. Done.
Sounds good. I know. Oh,
Yeah.
I love a good brew.
I'm gonna go into a really heavy subject straight away. All right.
Well, hang on. Let me just see. Can hear Zool and Big Shaq? Can you hear Jack all right through the thing?
Yeah. Am I coming through? Okay.
You should be. I'll turn you up anyway.
Closer.
I've put
There
you
we
on.
go. I moved the mic closer.
I've put you on 130%. That should be loud enough.
130%.
All right then. Heavy subject. What is it? It's not political. It's not about Moscow, is it? No.
Well, no. So me and my wife have been rewatching Star Trek Next Generation because we watched this show called The Detectorists, which if you have ever watched it, is
Oh
really
yeah,
wholesome show.
I
Yeah,
love it, mate.
it reminded me of like a British Napoleon Dynamite. It's hilarious, but it
I can
also
see
reminded
that.
me of home. Like it perfectly captured like sort of the place I grew up in and
No,
where I live,
I
basically.
probably loved it. I haven't. There was a film that they did as well, but I haven't seen that yet.
We watched the film. We say it should have ended at season 2. They
Um,
shouldn't have done. The film was a bit depressing, but
oh no.
yeah. So don't watch the film. Is basically what I'm saying. But no. Anyway, after that, we were like, oh, we need a new show to watch, and I was like, I really want to rewatch Next Gen, so we started doing that. We watched an episode 2 nights ago. Well, no, it was last night, and it was all about Data and whether he's like got rights, whether he's sentient, whether he deserves to be actually considered a member of, a life form, basically,
Oh yeah.
or whether he could be dismantled by this guy called Bruce Maddox, who wants to make 1,000 Datas. He wants to deconstruct what Union Sung did and all that sort of stuff. And then it brought up the conversation of robot rights in the Alien franchise. And I was like, well, I think, and I might be wrong, so I hope I'm not speaking out of line here, but I think the black guy in the trailer is the android.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I swear
That's
that's
what
what
I
I've
think.
read somewhere. But either way, that brings up the subject of obviously a black android is not out of the question. But they kept talking about slavery in the Star Trek episode and how that relates to making 1,000 androids who all look the same and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, is Romulus gonna touch upon that subject if the black guy is the android? Are they actually gonna
Yes, it's a
bring
double.
that up? Because the only sort of hints at sort of where the androids sit in the grand scheme of things in the Alien universe are, David is made too human, so they make Walter. They make him more of a slave, and that's what basically David brings up to Walter at the end when he says, do you want to reign in hell or serve in heaven?
Yeah,
And
Milton,
so I
Paradise
was
Lost.
thinking, like, yeah. And then obviously when we get to like Ash, they don't know he's a robot, so they're like, he's so human to the point where they don't know, but he is also still controllable by the company. And then he also has an affinity for the alien itself, which is very similar to David. So it's like he's corrupted at some level, and so and then Bishop obviously is more like Walter, but he does obviously have his own opinions. Like he prefers artificial human and all that sort of stuff. But then if Romulus tackles this subject, because obviously in the grand scheme of human history, every race has been a slave at some point. And obviously in Western cultures, the more recent slavery is with, black people in America and the slave trade and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know if they're going to culturally touch upon that or not. Because for me, in the current climate of Hollywood, it seems like the kind of thing they might do briefly, but then that might, like, knowing what the internet's like, I could just see that splitting 2 ways. It could be like
I can see what
the
you mean.
film be like, oh, the film's woke or whatever. It's like, or it could genuinely tell a really poignant expansion of the law in the Alien universe to do with robot rights, regardless of the color of their skin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that is interesting. That I do think he is definitely the android. Oh, I haven't read anything about it. I've just based on.
I swear I've heard a
what we
rumor
see.
that like it was revealed in an interview, like that someone said he's the android, right? And the director Fede was like, "Oh, really? You could guess that from the teaser?" And they were like, "Well, yeah." And it's like, and then it's because I was listening to the AVP Galaxy podcast all about the Romulus trailer breakdown, and they were saying that it's the way he stands.
Yeah, that's
Like it's just a dead giveaway.
That's
that
what
he's
clued
the
me
android.
off. And his outfit is like all grey. It's all like utilitarian. It's all straight lines. It's simple. It's devoid of any sort of color or flourish, or you know what I mean. Not that that could limit a robot necessarily, but
No,
you know what I mean. That's what I think, and I
but
think that'd be cool. But
yeah, I just wonder if they're going to touch upon that subject.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it?
We were discussing it the other night.
It's like
he could be like Vickers though. He might not be the android. Vickers, it was debatable whether she was an android or not. Obviously, if you watch the deleted scenes, you know she's not, because Vickers, Yannick, the captain, basically confirms it because they sleep together. but like they sleep together in the cut of Prometheus, but it's like in the deleted scenes, you get the aftermath, and they actually
Yeah.
address it, and you're like, oh, okay, so she's not an android basically. But she acts very robotic, so maybe he's like that. Maybe he's a human and it's someone else.
Yeah, possibly, but it is an
Yeah.
interesting idea. Like you say, it's a double serving of slavery. But like Zul said in the chat, it's like 20 million odd years in the universe timeline, like ahead of where we are. Well, he put it a little bit different. He said the whites have deleted the history, but but yeah, like would they still have? I mean, I suppose they would have records of that sort of stuff, wouldn't they? It was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting.
I mean, I'm just thinking about like the climate of Hollywood as well. Like, would that be a subject that
would they be able to resist? Yeah,
because I could see it happening, or I could see it not happening. Quite easily. But, I will say this though: I was watching your stream back, and someone brought up that I mentioned that the film. I think it might have been you, Big Shark, mentioned that I said the film looks like the usual slop.
yeah.
I was saying that in a quasi jokey way because obviously the film doesn't look like slop. It's awesome,
Right.
but I meant as in we've seen everything the trailer shows. It's like, okay, we've seen this kind of thing before. There's only like the newest things the trailers show, as far as I could tell, was there's an anti-gravity scene.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Or at least there's a portion of the ship that has no anti-gravity in it, and we have a shot of someone dead floating through it. We might not have a scene there at all. And I guess the massive amount of facehuggers that are like coming out of that one room. Although we have seen like Ripley and Newt fend off 2 facehuggers, and I guess the others in Alien Resurrection.
There's
when they come out of that water
couple there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's yeah.
I'm like the film is not showing anything fresh. Like it needs like an injection of something that's like, oh, okay, that's really expanding.
That's kind of what I was saying.
Be like an actual new thing.
Like,
I'm not saying like a new alien or anything.
It's not sort of. Yeah, it's doing the usual. It's doing the familiar, but it's not. Is it going to ask any bigger questions? Is it going to push the envelope?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not bringing this up to say that if it doesn't, the film's going to be bad, because I'd welcome just a standard Alien film. Why wouldn't I? Like, and I say standard as in like high quality film that just feels like if it came in the Alien quadrilogy box set in the 90s, it wouldn't be out of place.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm warming up to it. I'll keep watching the trailer. I'm like, I can't believe this is coming out. Like, just looking at the like Nostromo ship shot where like slowly pans
it looks pretty good
through, and apparently that shot is in the film. So I reckon my prediction for that shot is that like that might be the opening of the movie. Like we start on the spaceship before the space station, before the characters arrive, and we're just hearing the aftermath.
That's interesting. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because I assumed it was.
Then it shows like.
I assumed the more clean, wider hallways were on this Renaissance station, and then the narrow Nostromo ones were like part of their ship that they arrive on. But then this Fedi says in the interview, like the space station is made of like two separate parts, 2 separate stations joined together. Weird.
He described them as that's Romulus and Remus.
They are the Romulus and Remus, yeah, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like maybe that was the pitch that he gave to Ridley, who was like, the elevator pitch moment where he was apparently telling him the idea, and he was like, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah, he mentioned the classics, and Ridley was like,
years later,
"I'm on board." Yeah. No, I'm warming up to it as well. Like the first watch, I was into it, but I was just like, okay, weird anticlimax. Not sure about that. But then watching that interview with the geezer was like, that's what sealed it for me. Like the way he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just the way he talked about it, and the fact that he's played all the games, he's read all the books, he's putting the effort in. You know what I mean?
Well, what's weird is like this. I don't know when this film was greenlit. I haven't really done that much research into like that sort of history of it. But I was a bit tepid about the idea of this film since Disney bought Fox, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the first Alien film released by Disney, essentially, with Disney's money and, for lack of a better term, agenda behind how they want to promote these movies and stuff. And so I was a bit, put off by that idea, and I still am to a certain degree. But watching the trailer, I was like, okay, you've won me over. And the fact that Ridley Scott's producing it, and I've heard that it obviously has connections to the prequels. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. You got me. You got me. Trailer sold me.
That's why I'm like,
yeah.
it could be that sort of angle, like just a mass appeal sort of thing. Like I was saying, it's like, oh, loads of teenagers running from an alien, getting picked off one by one. But that could be fine. But this Fede seems to be also trying to make it more than that, and that's what's
They're
exciting.
not even like teenagers. Because again, in the AVP Galaxy podcast, they were talking about the ages of Sigourney Weaver in Alien. Apparently, I think if I remember correctly, they said that she was younger in Alien than the cast are in this.
Well, there you go.
Like a lot of the cast in this. So it's like, okay, right, we've already been sold.
But like they're playing, like
so it all comes down to the acting and whether they feel like they've stepped out of the
yeah,
sort of
like she's
smoke-ridden.
She seems Sigourney's kind of mature, and she was playing like a lieutenant and all that sort of stuff, and she's.
Was like how many characters are they going to have chain smoking? Because in Aliens, that was a staple of those movies.
Yeah.
People were just smoking or chewing a cigar left, right, and center.
Flared collars and stuff. Yeah, there's no. I couldn't see any 70s fashion like flared collars and stuff and bubble fonts.
Or the hairstyles.
Yeah,
like the hairstyles, the 80s hairstyles.
Who knows?
But yeah, there was a point I was going to get to. Oh yes. So here's something interesting. Again, from the AVP Galaxy podcast, which I do. I'm not affiliated with them in outside of being a member of their forum, but like their podcast on the trailer breakdown was really interesting. But they brought up something that, you know, the shot where the face hugger is being pulled off that person's face.
Oh yeah.
The perspective of that is so weird that might be showing something very interesting. If you can bring up that shot, I don't know if you can, but like if you just bring it up for yourself,
I can try.
And
it's an extreme close up of the, and I think it is.
It's an extreme close up, but the legs of the face hugger are so out of focus that they look like they're really far away, and it looks huge. Like the face hugger looks massive.
Yeah, I thought it looked big.
Like I didn't notice that. Like most people think it's like a normal face hugger.
No, they're definitely they look like black, like they're dark. It's weird.
Yeah, they were wondering if it was like, you know what they call it, the Queen or the Royal Facehugger from the extended edition of Alien 3. They were speculating whether they were drawing inspiration from that for these things, and then they were like, "Hang on, this shot is really big, so maybe we're gonna see alternate facehuggers." But
it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Something really interesting. But yeah, I keep watching the trailer.
Yeah, I found an image.
Yeah, if the more you look at it, the more it's like, hang on. It might just be like the lens. I don't know, but it looks like the legs are huge. Like this thing's massive. But then if they show the shot, in the trailer of the woman getting like one on her face.
I think it is that same actress, isn't it?
And it might be that same actress.
It looks like it's
the normal size one. It's just the perspective then.
I just say that it was one of them. I was trying to just copy and paste it, but obviously it's a WebP picture, which you can't use anywhere. Bloody stupid. So I've had to convert.
I think if you go into the URL of the picture, it will say JPEG dot something or something like that. If you just remove that back to the JPEG, I think you get the image.
Take a Runkov back off. Browse. The legs. It just doesn't look like a normal facehugger. Like they look. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it should bring it up. There you go. There's a sort of a triple whammy.
Yes, Zool is a reference to H.R. Geiger's obsession. Yeah, knobs in mouths.
Because you do normally see they have the little ovipositor, which is like a little thing that goes down the throat, but you never see it extend.
The cock.
The cock. You never see it extend to that. That what is it?
No, it's got an erection.
Yeah. Well. Oh, yeah. True.
They're just dicks on legs. Like that's the thing. like it was really funny. In the AVP Galaxy podcast when they were describing it, because they described it in such a scientific manner. They're like, "Oh yes, it's got the egg sacs and all this sort of stuff." And I'm like, "It's a dick on legs. It's a dick on legs. That's all it is. It's got one thing it wants to do, which is rape. That's that thing's job." And it's like, that's why it's hellish.
It's Skiger all over in it.
So,
but yeah,
David, like, let's go off of David's like creation of the alien. Like not obviously the xenomorphs are much older than David's creations, but he honed the aliens that we know and love apparently.
That's right, yeah.
So like, did he make like the 7 deadly sins in like an embodiment form? Are the facehuggers lust? Are there like eggs sloth? You know, they don't do anything. They just sit there doing nothing. Is the queen wrath? Is there something going on there, or am I overthinking it?
Possibly. Are there 7 variations? It's like chestbursters, facehuggers, eggs, queen, drones.
I wonder.
I think we're a couple
Chestburster
short.
could be like glutton.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like
envy's what basically like what the androids do. Like in the story of Alien, and maybe not even David's intentions, but maybe the narrative structure. Like the androids are like envy. They obviously want to be like humans, or at least David does. He's fueled by envy. That's all he's about.
Move that image to the side. It looks fucking worse. Oh, it's definitely the actress that gets face hugged.
Right. Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm looking at it now. When I showed my wife this trailer, when that shot, she was sitting there like not really having much of a reaction. But then when that shot came up, she genuinely went, "Oh!" Like, I was like, "Yeah, that's Alien."
There you go.
Ugh. Yeah, look at the legs though. They look so far away in the distance.
It is bigger. It does look a lot bigger, doesn't it? Like if you imagine the one that's on Kane's head. I mean, I know it's obviously tight, but
yeah, it's either that or they literally have that it's just meant to be like a perspective thing. Like they're doing a cool shot.
But yeah, it's looking good though. It's looking good. And apparently they're all like the shot of the xenomorph at the end is practical. It's legacy effects, Stan Winston's boys, which I didn't know about. But
yeah,
that's
and I think there's
bonus.
going to be more than one alien. There's got to be more than one alien in this film, judged by the amount of facehuggers.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. But yeah, just got to see what happens. Hopefully he comes out with a winner.
So have you noticed that we're in the land of franchise IPs? We're in a very interesting place right now because I keep looking down. I've got right next to me like a pile of DVDs that I've been watching like in the background. But I've got in here, obviously in the actual real world, I've got like all the Blu-rays and 4K or whatever, all the Jurassic movies. But then in the Terrordome set here, I have a selection of DVDs, but I only have out of the Jurassic movies, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. And I keep looking at those 4 movies going, God, do you remember when we were just waiting for Jurassic Park 4? And now I'm looking at 4 sequels that aren't even like Jurassic and Lost World, not even them. Like I'm looking at 4 Jurassic movies that have nothing to do with the first 2 films. It's kind of crazy.
It feels like we've waited so long, but it's all happened so quick. It's happened so quick.
Yeah, and like above that, I've got Alien Covenant on top. There's Avatar, Way of the Water next to it. It's kind of like crazy that there's all these. I know you remember like the nostalgia, like 2015 era when nostalgia was big, like brought back Mad Max, Terminator, Genesis, Jurassic World, Star Wars. What was it? The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And and it's like now we're like beyond that, and we've gone through the the sequels that have been like divisive and all that sort of stuff, and now we're going into a new era. It feels as like, and I think it kind of started maybe with Prey, where sequels to films started to come out where people were genuinely like, okay, they understand from their mistakes and they're trying to course correct, and they're now like trying to pander to what fans have been talking about more. Obviously there's debates whether one film's, like for example, I would argue that Fallen Kingdom and Dominion didn't fail, but whatever, right? That's a whole different kettle of fish you don't open. But films like Alien Covenant, right, I can definitely see why people think that didn't deliver what they wanted from an Alien movie. I love it. I don't give a shit about. Like, I like the craziness that the film shows. I love its biblical scale and the grand stuff it's saying.
Oh, I love all that stuff. Yeah.
And then I like the claustrophobic classic Alien fourth act. Like people complain about that being too boring and it's like too late, you know, in the story. But I'm just like, so that's like classic Alien. That's like you're trapped on a ship, and you have to blast it out into space. Like that's every Alien movie, except Alien 3. But and I guess Prometheus.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like, so now we got Prey, and then you've got like Godzilla -1, even though that's Toho, but like Godzilla -1 came out and was just incredible. And then now we're getting Alien Romulus, and there's another one coming out, which is like they're basically answering. Oh, the new Jurassic apparently is like all.
Yeah, I see what
like,
you're saying. It's like we're post nostalgia, where now it's like.
Yeah,
we've got that out of our system. Now let's actually try to.
That's what it feels.
Offer up something else.
And I don't know what that is in the sort of cultural atmosphere or what. Like I'm feeling that. I'm like, it feels like we're now going to move beyond all the shits that have just had like or whatever have come out over the last few years. We're now moving into a whole fresh new territory where they seem to have listened a bit more. It's kind of like, you know, going from the Star Wars prequels to the sequel series. Now I'm hoping these new films and that aren't as bad as what I consider those films to be. Narratively,
it's definitely changed.
Yeah,
and like I say,
like
it was probably that Prey that sort of did it, because that was a pretty big success. I think it was. I guess it was.
Yeah, it was.
But they are doing Prey 2 though, aren't they? As the last I heard.
Yeah.
So
they are doing it. But this circles back around to like what I started initially talking about with Romulus not being like having anything fresh in it, right? Because for me, Prey basically didn't have, I guess, the setting and the time period and all that, and I guess the Predator fighting a bear was pretty badass to see something like that finally. It had some new stuff, I guess, but like I felt like it played it too safe. And it reminded me of like when Force Awakens came out. One of my biggest issues with that movie was like the ship choices. They only had X-Wings on the good guy's side, and they only had TIE fighters on the bad guy's side. And after the prequel films and all that, everyone was shitting on those, and they had ships galore. Like there was all different kinds of stuff everywhere, and everyone was complaining that they didn't feel like the old films. Disney were like, okay, let's play this really safe. And then J.J. Abrams, whoever made the decision, was like, okay, X-Wings and TIE fighters. And I was sitting there in the cinema watching it, and I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I was like, where are the Y-Wings? Where are the B-Wings? Where are all the other ships that I've seen in these other films that they're, like, fighting in? We saw loads. There was loads of different types. And so, I'm worried that's what Romulus might be like. Like, it might be like his facehuggers, he's the alien, and they're running around the corridor and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's good. Where's the fresh? Where's the new? Where's the innovative?
Yeah, that's the balance, isn't it? It's like how do you keep it like not just falling into that trap of remember this. But I don't know. Something tells me it's going to be. He's going to do something with it that'll surprise us. I don't know. Like I say, I have heard some certain things about it from behind the scenes, which I wasn't too happy about.
I'm unfortunate.
Yeah, but like it's. Plus, there's a lot of talk on. You see a lot of talk on like the sites now about how it's like the idea of it's not. You can't just make another franchise film and cater to the fans. It has to work on its own mass appeal, and that's what makes it a good film. And it's like, well, I guess.
But this is the thing. Like, it's not. It's like they didn't have the foresight to think. Right. Why are people talking about these select films from like the 80s, 90s, 70s, or whatever? And it's because they're extremely well made. Obviously, all external factors like the time they're made and all that play a role. But what they didn't see, which we can in hindsight, is the fact that if you make a film with longevity, like the sequel that you're making now could be the film that fans are demanding comes back out of cinemas in like 30, 40 years. Who are like, you know, I grew up on this. Oh, I want to see it. And it comes back out of the cinema, and then they're making it like if you want the longevity, you've got to space it out. Like Romulus, one of the best things going for Romulus right now, in my opinion, is the 7-year gap between Covenant and now, because in that time period they could really take their time. Like no one, like people were demanding that there be a sequel to Covenant and stuff, myself included. Obviously, there was a lot of people saying no, we want to return to the old stuff, but they didn't like do it straight away. They didn't just jump the gun.
Well, it's because they were trying to get rid of fucking Ridley's. What I was thinking. I mean,
Well,
I
there
know
was also the Fox merger with Disney and that.
all of that sort of stuff, but people like obviously we loved them, but the average people didn't like those films. And like
No, but what I'm saying is like even though they had demand off other people, like other Alien fans who didn't like those prequels, saying things like, "Oh, we want to return to form like Aliens," you know, they obviously made the decision of like with Romulus, okay, well it's going to be Alien and Aliens, like in design.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But that idea took time. Like it obviously Fede apparently had it ages ago, which is really good, but he's had time to like hone it and craft it and over time. So I think that's the best thing going for it. If they just shot a sequel out really quick, Jurassic World 4, they might stumble, they might fall because they're going too quick.
Yeah, so, well, we'll have to wait and see. I think it's I can't remember what the date he said it was. I'm sure he said it was like years and years back when Fede went to Ridley Scott and mentioned it. And he said
it like lit an elevator pitch.
I think he was there for something else. Yeah, he was there for something else, and he mentioned it as like just off the cuff, and then it wasn't even a pitch. But then Ridley Scott, he said Ridley Scott remembered it, and then phoned him back and was like, "What do you think about doing it?" So it must have been somewhat pretty good.
Imagine getting that call. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like if studios need to learn about longevity, because it helps a lot. Like as someone who has liked the Alien prequels, just having Covenant over the last 7 years has been a delight, because like whenever I watch it, it's so fresh and has so much to say, and it makes me think about things each time. And it's been nice to like let the dust settle on that. As again, like one of the things with the Jurassic World trilogy that I was obviously I'm biased towards those movies, but I was really appreciated that they took 3 years of each movie to come out, because like you had all the Marvel films churning out how many fucking films in a year, like
it was
5 films a year or
crazy,
whatever. Yeah, and then like you get fatigued. Like it just turned me off superhero movies, for the most part. And then and like Star Wars, Disney just went nuts with that, like straight out of the gate. Like, oh, here's Force Awakens, oh, here's Rogue One, oh, here's Solo, here's and there's no time to sit and genuinely,
I see what you're saying.
craft something. Like what was the time between like Disney getting Star Wars and the release of Force Awakens?
Don't know,
like 2 years or something.
They didn't waste any time, did they? They didn't mess about.
No.
Plus, it's almost like the classic argument about binge watching, when it's like a new show comes out, TV show on like Netflix or whatever. It's 5 episodes and then it's gone. You watch it on like one night, for example, and then it's like it doesn't persist within the consciousness, because it's all, there's no, like, you don't watch an episode, wait a week, and you don't sit with it, you don't ruminate on it, you don't think about stuff. It's kind of like if you whack out all these films, 4 to 5 a year, as Big Shark is saying, which is fucking insane. There's no time for it to like.
I mean, especially
build.
if they're in the same continuity. They're in the same. They're meant to be in the same story, right? That's the main point. Because it's like you're watching like Ant-Man 3 or whatever, and you're like, okay, well, this connects to what I'm going to see in a few months' time and all this sort of stuff. But it's like it all comes down to like what does that individual film say? Like what's that film's point? And can you just pop it in and enjoy it from start to finish without needing loads of external context? So I really appreciate that a lot of the franchises that I'm a fan of tend to be playing it quite well in that regard. Like even Godzilla, they had -1 came out from Toho, but now we've got the new one coming out this Friday coming up. And but the last Godzilla film came out in 2020.
Did it?
The Godzilla versus Kong, yeah.
Oh,
it was like 3 years ago.
I was thinking
so it took some time,
Godzilla.
and then Shin
That was, I
Godzilla.
think
Yeah,
that
it was
was
2016.
2016. Yeah.
So Toho really sat on that, which is like that's what I'm saying. Like if Hollywood gets better if they don't just release sequel every fucking 5 minutes. It's like take some time, think about it, try and
Take some
hone it.
time. Wait for the good idea to come along.
Yeah, like what Alien came out in 1979, Aliens 1986.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like 2 years later or a year later. It was a long time. You know.
Well, look, it's like
Anyway,
bloody,
that's my
bloody Beetlejuice in it.
Yeah.
How long's that? 40 years or something? 30 odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 over 40 years, isn't it?
Hey, look, I'm excited for it. This again, that's a good example of like one of these new sequels that caters to, or at least from what the trailer shows, is going to cater to what fans want. Especially with things like Tim Burton saying like there's no CGI in the film.
Yeah.
Like he's doing stop motion and he's doing practical. He's like I need it to look like the first one. So it's like okay, I like that.
Sweet. I didn't hear about that, but that sounds good.
I think even the title sequence in that trailer where it says Beetlejuice, when it splits, is stop motion. It looked stop motion.
I'll have to rewatch it. I didn't pick up on that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But that's good.
So I'm like, okay, if Tim Burton pulls a miracle out of a bag and makes a film and everyone loves it, it's like good, he's back.
Yeah.
At least for this one. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, like that. Catering to fans, taking time over things. It seems so obvious, but I don't see many people talking about it.
No. Well, we were proper laughing about the because they're obviously in the trailer for Beetlejuice 2. They're at the funeral for the dad, played by Jeffrey Jones. But we were saying like they've obviously killed him off because the actor's like a nonce, which is fucked up.
I heard he's in the film.
What? Really?
He has like a bit part. Yeah. I think in an interview, Burton, they said he has a cameo.
Oh, well.
So I guess he's going to be a ghost.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like...
From prison.
they've tried to kill him off to avoid using him because he's a problematic actor. Yeah. Oh, no. But this is the one...
That with a pinch of salt. I swear it was in an interview.
I mean, I hope so. Maybe we've nailed it. We were like outlining scenes earlier on.
What's his name again?
Jeffrey Jones, I think it is. Jeffrey Jones. I mean, maybe the allegations. Maybe he got off. Maybe he didn't do it. I don't know. Maybe he was found innocent. But yeah. But I was like, it's funny they've tried to kill him off to avoid using him in the one universe where ghosts exist.
Okay. I'm reading it now. So it's like he's not going to be in it. So that was a fake rumor.
Yeah, it would have surprised me, but
yeah, no, he's a bad man.
Oh yeah. Terrible, isn't it?
Oh dear.
But so I was laughing because I was like, they've killed him off, but this is a film universe where ghosts come back. So I was like doing a scene where Beetlejuice comes back and says, Winona's like, oh, have you seen my dad? Is there any chance you get my dad to come back as a ghost and I can say goodbye to him? And Beetlejuice is like, oh, there's no coming back from where he is, love. He's in fucking hell.
Cuts to that room in the first film, where the ghosts go to die. He's like one of those wrinkly ghosts going in the void. That's how he cameos.
It seems like something Burton would do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Forward to it.
Why not?
It all rides on for me. It all rides on Michael Keaton. He has got he's competing against himself from a much younger era when he and what's he going to be like in this new film? Because I guess they might have a throwaway line where they say like he's decayed some or something.
He's decayed like a ghost,
a bit.
It could get away with it, yeah. But he also he's a bit chubbier in the original film, isn't he? Obviously he's younger, but he's got a bit of a double chin and stuff, and it's like the vibe is a bit different. But we'll see. Maybe just after the first 5 minutes here, it's the good old Beetlejuice. But yeah, Beetlejuice, that is Romulus. Lots to look forward to. Twisters,
yeah.
Oh,
see,
man,
that was the one film. If you'd asked me before the trailer, are you looking forward to it? I would have said no, because I'm like, they don't need a sequel for Twister. They don't need it. No. And then I watched the trailer, and the first time I watched it, I was like, looks boring. Then I kept watching it, and I was like, I noticed, hang on, the director, I forget his name now. I looked him up, but he's using the camera very similar to John DeBont. There's a lot of sweeping helicopter shots here, or drone shots probably in these days. But he's got that movement down. Okay, so all the shots in the trailer look like they would come from the first film, how they're framed and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, those trucks look nice. Oh, what's that logo on the front of the truck? Oh, it's a tornado with bull horns. That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, what's that? Oh, wait, did he say they're trying to destroy a tornado? And then I noticed the barrels of whatever it is next to Dorothy 5, and I'm like, okay, so is this set in the past? Like, I was like, okay, so they try and blow up a tornado, but they release Dorothy 5 first, and then they can read the measurements of what happens to the tornado when it gets blown up, but it goes wrong, and the girl's friend or friends die, and then she comes back into the story later on, and the renegade social media guy is like, do you want to actually try and do that for real, and we'll try and film
and then
it.
they team
you
up
can
to
show
do
the
it,
world, and then the whole film is actually them trying to blow up tornadoes. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm like, that sounds so stupid, but I'm in. Yeah.
My reaction was like yours the first time I saw it. I was like, all right, looks like a film with tornadoes, and I think I'm probably more still there, but I'm not as big of a Twister fan as you are. But yeah,
oh, God,
but if they start,
it's on my pile of DVDs.
Yeah.
What I was talking about.
If they blow up a tornado, I mean, I called it. I said you're going to nuke a tornado, so I'll be loving
it. Big
it.
Shark and that in the Discord were like coming and saying, "Hey, you mentioned this." But yeah, the only bit in the trailer I don't like is that guy who's going like twins. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ! Please don't let these like social media influencer characters be really, really irritating.
Well,
they got to have a charisma about him.
What's he called? Glenn Powell. He's all into that, isn't he? He's like filming himself, but which is true of life because that has developed. So it's a good thing to bring into the story because it's like Twister's
he looks
started
great.
a lot of
like
that stuff off. Yeah.
There's like one of his like sidekicks shouts twins in the trailer. I'm just like, okay, I don't know why when he shouts that, I'm like, it's grating. I think it's because he's in a car. It's like, dude, like fucking people are just sat right next to him shout like twins. But then there's a person behind him with like VR goggles on, and then there's like this flying drone thing. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. This is great.
And I like the drills that drill into the corkscrew into the ground to keep the car stuck in the ground. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be like a good toy.
Really awesome. Now I wonder which character is related to someone in the first film, because if they have Dorothy 5, I'm
somebody
like, okay,
knows
did Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's cat Bill? He's called Bill in the film. Like, is he? Did they have a kid? Or is this Dusty's child? Because she has like,
possibly
kind of Dusty's look.
I mean, it seems obvious.
The renegade guy, is he Dusty's kid?
Oh yeah, could be.
He's the extreme. Because it's like they took the line from Twister where he's the extreme, Bill's the extreme. And it's like they turned that concept of a young. Because they talk about Bill Paxton's character in Twister being this like crazy guy.
Oh yeah, they do.
Being like naked and throwing a bottle of whiskey into the tornado or whatever. But obviously he's extreme later on in the film. He's driving through houses crossroad.
Like father, like son. It could be.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like something like that. Like,
but I have expect them to be like, they're obviously going to fall in love, and he's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm the big social media star, but it doesn't really fulfill him. It doesn't really fulfill him in his life, and it's not the real him and all this, and that's going to be the. But you make me feel alive and all that sort of stuff.
I am concerned because obviously Bill Paxton passed away.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping they just don't mention the old characters really. Like we don't need to know where they are or what they're doing, right? That's history. They can say that their company was a huge success or something like that, right? But I'm worried that they might actually have a line of dialogue where Bill Paxton's character was killed, and I'm like,
yeah,
don't want that.
Not really needed. You can avoid it if you have to, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if they will because it might be in poor taste given Bill Paxton actually died.
They might say he got like sucked up into a tornado or something dumb.
No, I hope not. That's what I don't know. Not for Helen Hunt's character as well. Her dad died at the beginning of the first film.
Maybe they both went up together.
This isn't Alien 3. Like, we need. This is a light. This is like Crichton adventure movie.
It'll have a little like digital readout that comes up with a picture of like Paxton, and it'll be like male, deceased,
This is
unknown.
from a control here.
Yeah, Twisters.
Twisters.
Yeah, that's another one. I'll probably be like, yeah, I'll probably check it out, but I'm not buzzing about it. I'm more so buzzing about the Romulus. Beetlejuice 2 is about in the middle of the two, so there you go. Lots to look
Out
forward
of all
to.
the franchise movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting super hyped for Godzilla X Kong, which I'm going to see on Friday.
Yeah. I'm not then.
I know. I've listened to
not
your
into
stream. You said you've seen Godzilla 2014, and that's it, right?
That's I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
Shin Godzilla.
It's just like when you watch the old 60s Godzilla films from the show era and stuff. That's like what the films are now.
Well,
just
that's what people were saying,
people
but
in suits, it's CGI.
like, oh, it's the campiness of it brought back into a modern day. But for me, it's just not the same. Like this, when you see the
No,
geese,
it isn't. It's by design. It's not the same. It's like they know what they're doing.
It's like it doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit. It's not. It stops being campy in the same way for me. Like a guy in a suit smashing a building up.
Basically, like I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper here, but it is like it just caters to people like myself who I love loads of Godzilla films, and I don't care what they say about the film. Like, okay, so about the story or whatever, I don't care what it is because there's such crazy stories that it's almost like you know how the Fast and Furious franchise started off as like car racing on the streets, and then now there's like cars in space and like literally cars in space and zombie cars and God knows what else they've done. Whoops. It's like Godzilla's been like that for 70 years now. Like the Godzilla franchise has been like that. Like the first Godzilla film is super serious. You get to Godzilla versus King Kong, the third movie, and the film is ridiculous. Like the comedy is all over the place. Like, it's just nuts. And so like these newer films doing it again, it's like it's for people who are heavily into Godzilla, it's old news. It's like old news. Like you know, you get all sorts of Godzilla films. You get the super serious ones, and then you get the absolutely outlandish, stupid ones. And it's just like they just come hand in hand all the time.
Well, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
It's
like
nothing new.
Like the old.
So, like, I'm down for watching this big monkey with a big robot hand punch another giant monkey in a city that uses a whip to use a skyscraper as a club. Yeah. It's like, I'm down for that. Why not? Why not? I just had Godzilla -1, which is the best Godzilla film ever made. So I can't complain. Like, as a Godzilla film, that is the best one. It beat the original. And I didn't think I could ever say that one day. But I can. The first one, obviously, is a cultural milestone and Leviathan. But as a story and a film that I want to sit down and watch, the Godzilla -1 just hit every single note perfect. Not a note out of line, in my opinion. It's like it just got it. It's like, this is what a Godzilla film. This is the Godzilla film I've had in my head for years when I was a kid. Like, because you'd watch the original film and it was set post World War II, and -1 is as well. So you're like, you always go back to that era where the buildings were a lot lower. So Godzilla doesn't have to be insanely huge. He's huge, but he's not like how he is in some of the later movies where he gets insanely big.
Yeah, isn't the one like one in the 90s where it's like a mile high or something insane.
There's one where he's a whole planet, like it's like not a whole planet, but like he's called Godzilla the Planet. It's the anime series. He's like a giant wooden, stony, like god, and he just roams Earth, and it's awesome. Ghidorah in that one is like this three-headed golden dragon from another dimension that the villains open a portal to, and Godzilla has to fight it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the old campy when it's old and the people in suits smashing up a model city. That's proper camp. I like that. But when it's like the stuff that we're seeing recently, it for me, it doesn't feel the same. It's like it's
well,
lost,
the aesthetic, it's the cosmetics of CGI. Because like they're doing the same things.
That has something to do with it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally the visual aesthetics. Like, because I could tell you all about this. What is it? Is it Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, right, from like 1992 or something?
Yeah.
Do you know the plot of that movie?
He fights Ghidorah.
Well, okay, so I'll try and do it as quickly as possible. This is gonna be nuts, right? So Godzilla was a dinosaur on an island, like an actual T-Rex that had lived for millions of years, like just a normal sized T-Rex on an island.
Yeah.
And then this Japanese or American naval ship discovered it. Oh no, Japanese, yeah. And then this guy saw it, and they shot the dinosaur. Then the nukes went off, and they mutated him or his species into Godzilla.
Right.
And then,
so far, so good.
Yeah, and then if I remember correctly, and there's maybe Godzilla fans who would correct me on this, but this, Godzilla comes and attacks and all that usual shebang. And then there's these 3 little tiny cute like gizmo type animals with wings. And I don't know if they were genetically engineered or if they are aliens, but they look really dumb. And this scientist is like toying with them, and then they get turned into King Ghidorah, who Godzilla fights. Oh no, that's it. They make King Ghidorah to fight Godzilla off. They're like, we need, or someone is using King Ghidorah like as a protective measure against Godzilla, but it goes wrong, right? Because King Ghidorah kills Godzilla, and then takes over the world. Like starts destroying everything, and they're like, oh shit, we've just made a worse problem.
Worse, yeah.
And then they're like, well, we need to go back in time and bring a Godzilla back to the future. Right. And I kid you not, and this is going to sound like a kid talking here, aliens turn up in a UFO spaceship, and they can time travel too. And then the whole middle section of the film becomes like a Terminator 2 like chase movie. There's like a whole scene where they're on the road, and this guy who looks like the guy who plays Rimmer in Red Dwarf, like looks exactly like him, just running down the street in the most ridiculous fashion after this car, like the T-1000. And to cut a long story short, another Godzilla, because they fail in their time travel mission, another Godzilla turns up randomly. Just another one. Not the original one, no, just another Godzilla out of nowhere. Just turns up.
Right, more the merrier.
Ghidorah, bites his head off, and then some aliens beam Ghidorah up and then put a mecha head in the middle of the other 2 heads, and that's Mecha King Ghidorah. And then Godzilla fights him and then wins, and then the film ends. It's like you're watching it and you're like, in 2 hours or however long it is, you're like, this is the most insane shit I'm watching. And then I watched the trailer for like Godzilla X Kong, and I see people going, oh, this is, and I'm like, this is nothing.
It's
nothing.
It's tame by Godzilla standards.
Godzilla standards. There's one where like they build a machine to create a black hole to suck Godzilla in, because they're like, we need to just get rid of this fucking lizard. It's destroying everything. So what should we do? And they build a giant machine, like a Stargate, that opens up like a black hole, and Godzilla can't get sucked in. It's like it's sucking in, like, ah! And Godzilla's just basically stood there. He's like resisting a bit, but like he's not going in.
Oh, that sounds good.
And you're like, fuck, what do you do at that point?
It's beyond all physics. That's class.
What's interesting about the Godzilla franchise, even up to the new one, which is coming out in Friday, there's 70 years of Godzilla films. There's like coming up to 40 movies or something, 36, 7 movies, something ridiculous.
Wow.
Every single one of them is different. Like, there's not one that's the same. Even though the continuity's all fucked, like there's like you'll have like 10 movies that are all in continuity, and then another one comes out that only starts from like number 1, and then onwards, so you have to disregard the 9, and then the next film actually starts from number 1, disregarding the one that came before and all the other 9 or whatever. It's like Godzilla franchise is a mess, but it's like a glorious mess that, like, when you dive in, oh my god, it's amazing. And yeah, so that's how you get things like Godzilla -1 and Godzilla X Kong coming out within months of each other, using the same character.
Because it's all
like,
up in the air.
2 movies. It's interesting.
I mean, I would like. I still haven't seen -1, but I'm up for seeing that one. I think I like that one.
Oh,
but
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but you're gonna regret not watching that at the cinema, Sicky. It was so good, and like it was the loudest film I think I've ever seen at the cinema. Like when he roared, it was, oh my fucking god. I was like, Jesus, this IMAX is turned up like so loud, or it's just the film. And then I went and saw another film in the same screen, and I was like, okay, yeah, it definitely was Godzilla.
They cranked it up.
Like, yeah,
Godzilla turned to 11. Plus, it won
say this
first
as a
Godzilla to win an Oscar, so can't argue with that.
Yeah. And like with the history of Godzilla films and stuff. I said this about -1. It's the Jurassic Park of the Godzilla film.
All right.
Like, you know, when you watch Jurassic Park, you're like, even though there's obviously little mistakes in the film here, that whatever, you're like, yeah, this hits all the marks, hits every note, like correctly. That's why it's such a great movie. Like, people love it, masterpiece. Lack of a. And so -1 is the Jurassic Park of the Godzilla franchise. Like, you watch it. Yep. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's exciting.
That's why it's like Spielberg went and saw it like 3 times, didn't he? In one weekend, he was obsessed. He like met the director, and he was like, "Yeah, tell me all about it." And the fact that it was made on 15 million.
Yeah, I was just going to say the budget. Like that is.
Oh my god,
that is crazy.
There's a team of 32 artists. You're like, fuck. Obviously not. Then the behind the scenes are amazing, like how they saved money, and they do these massive naval battles, and you're like, how the fuck did they do this? Like on the budget. But,
it's that limitations. The limitations of bred creativity, creative risks always works. And obviously, the filmmaker's very accomplished, isn't he? But it's that other. It's the other thing about he was an effects guy first, and then started directing, like Gareth Edwards. Because there's a video where they're talking to each other. And it's like, oh yeah, I feel like this is going to be the new thing. They get people who are good at CGI or have worked in that field to start making the actual pictures because they know what sort of shots work, how to compose it better, and all that sort of stuff. So it could be interesting. Not like, Wingard. That's all I'm saying. He's not. I don't think he worked in special effects.
No, I think he did actually.
Well, hush my mouth.
He did. I think he definitely knows how to utilize effects. Because I watched the behind the scenes of Godzilla and Kong, and he was talking about how they're going to blow up a jet and everything. And the way he was talking about it, I was like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. See, but that's again, as a Godzilla fan, that's why I'm so excited for the next film to come out, because I'm like, this is going to be such a whiplash from the last movie that was so serious, so down to earth, so real, like felt like it actually happened. And then we're gonna go to right to like Godzilla and Kong fighting around the Great Pyramids and
on acid,
Hollow Earth and spaceships and portals, and I'm like, yep, I'm in.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm happy you're happy, but it's just, I don't know, I just glaze over as soon as I start. I've watched the trailers and I've seen the odd clip.
You need to watch. I think from a filmmaking standpoint, you'd actually like Kong Skull Island. I think you said that before. That to be a good film. Yeah, it's well worth watching. It's a very brutal movie. Like, it's the most violent of the films that they've done so far.
Yeah, well, maybe
like when
the
film starts referencing visually, unapologetically, referencing Cannibal Holocaust, you're like, okay, this is a different breed of a giant monkey movie I'm watching here. It's like,
right, that's
they have like an actual do you know the one I mean? The Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh yeah, I know the film.
Person with the pole through their mouth. You know how that relates to the?
I don't know how it relates to the film though. Is someone land on it?
They go through this bamboo forest.
Oh right, yeah.
And they're cutting them down with their machetes, and one of them cuts, and or something like that, and then it turns out to be the leg of a giant spider.
Oh yeah, I've seen
they hear the noise. They hear the noise
trailer.
like a boom, and they turn around, and the guy has the leg of a spider through his mouth in the exact same way as Cannibal Holocaust.
Like
and you see it, like it's through his mouth and out his ass, and there's blood, and he's just there like,
class.
Nuts. They show it, and it's just like, this was a 12.
Fucking hell!
Like, this was banned in the UK in like the 80s. It's like, this kind of stuff.
They took him to court, didn't they? Because they thought it was real, and they had to like bring the actors in and say, look, this is the girl who was on the spike. She's fine. But they had to prove it in a court that she wasn't killed. They didn't kill her. Crazy.
Yeah. But if you're into that sort of stuff,
I think out of the lot of them, that was probably
Kong
the one
Skull Island.
that was as the most where I've gone. Oh. Plus, it has like a reference to Steve Brule, doesn't it? Because John C. Reilly's in it for your health and all that stuff. So I was a bit like,
it's got Samuel L. Jackson in it, and he even says, "Hold on to your butts."
Right?
He just says it, and you're like, "That's the Jurassic Park line."
I have to watch it now.
Said it. Yeah.
Class.
He actually says it like this, if I remember correctly. He goes, "Hold on to your butts," like that. No, they're good. They're fun times.
What's he called?
I think also,
Jordan
just
Vogt,
like
Vogt Roberts. Jordan Vogt Roberts.
yeah, he was.
Is
meant,
he made
he's
out
meant
else?
to be doing the. He's meant to be doing the bloody Metal Gear Solid movie.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's doing that anymore. Last I heard. Anyway.
Last I heard, he was like that. Yeah. Like that was a while ago, but I haven't heard anything to say.
Yeah, because it was going to be Oscar Isaac and all that. I don't know. I've heard that for years, but
I think from the opening shot of Kong Skull Island, the very opening shot, you okay.
Oh well, yeah.
It's awesome. It's really good. But a lot of people say it's a very nihilistic movie. And I can see to a certain degree why it says that. Yeah, because the people getting killed left, right, and center with like main characters.
Right.
Like, oh, fuck, they're gone. No, oh shit, it's kind of Alien 3 in that regard. And then, but then I'd say the very last thing you see in the film, the credits, makes it not a nihilistic movie. But
okay,
that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, maybe I'll check that one out.
It's very colourful and there's a lot of CG and stuff, but there is a lot to love in there. And not to go into too much spoilers, but Sam Jackson has a vendetta against Kong in that movie. Like he wants to kill that giant monkey any way he can. And the acting from Sam Jackson and John Goodman in that movie, both brilliant. Like Sam Jackson's great in it. You feel how fucking angry he is that this ape even exists.
I mean, he's good at doing anger.
Yeah, it's Moby Dick. He is basically Moby Dick.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I like a good literary reference.
Yeah, Ahab, sorry, not Moby. He's not the whale. Kong's the whale.
Right. Yeah. Big Shaq says you should watch it in black and white.
Yes. But I would say watch it in colour first, because obviously it's a very colourful movie, and they play into like the 70s aesthetic, because it's set during the Vietnam War. So,
right. That's right.
Yeah. It feels very much like a 70s movie, like that you watch like the 76 King Kong movie and things like The Last Dinosaur, that American-Japanese movie. It feels like one of them,
right?
Especially The Last Dinosaur. Like, I bet they watch that on set daily. We're like, this, but like modern day.
I think Big Shaq says he's putting it on now, just for me. Right. Well, I won't be watching it tonight, but enjoy.
Oh, let's watch it.
No, I need to go.
Maybe can we just watch the first 5 minutes?
The first 5 minutes. Well, I'll
let you go.
Yeah, I'll have to end the stream. But yeah.
Yeah, I bet get some painting done.
Yeah. Are you back at the easel? I know you don't use an easel, but
yeah. Huyon, I have.
Oh, sweet.
Huyon. Bit of painting for bed. I've got the monitor with me, so the little one wakes up.
So you have to run back into the house.
Yeah. Because my wife's with our newborn. Newborn, she's a baby now. So like she has to handle her, and I'm on our other daughter duty. So she wakes up. I'm like, right, drop what I'm doing.
Oh well, sweet. They got a system and it works. Class.
Yes, yeah, very much in a routine right now.
Oh, that's the key, isn't it? Apparently that's what they say. Obviously, I don't know anything about it, but it's like, yeah, the routine is the most important thing. And they just fall into it'll fall into place, as they say.
Yep.
Oh, well, good. Good luck with your painting.
Yeah. All right. I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no worries. It's always good.
Extra add on to the stream there. If you watch this one back, I think the start is like a minute of silence, not silence. It's just music, because I had my mic muted. I was like, Jack Dillamere was in the chat, and I was like chatting with him and like bringing up all this stuff, and he goes, "You're muted, by the way." I was like, oh, for fuck. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, we talked. What did we even talk? We talked about Romulus and Beetlejuice and stuff, but basically just what we just talked about then. So yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, he said it 3 times. That's it.
Beetlejuice. 4 times. What happens now?
Cancels it out. That's it. We're safe. Yeah.
Anyway, right. See you later, guys.
Anything else? Right.
Bye.
What? He's gone. That's him. He's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Right. See you. Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I was ignoring the chat there, but I was into the convo. Let's scroll back through. What's he saying? Waiting for the 4K. Binge the entire series. I'll probably watch him through, I guess. I definitely want to watch -1. That'll probably be the next thing I watch. Watch the first 5 minutes and then get sucked on for the rest. I meant glued on. Yeah, right, well, that's been the stream tonight. I said it was going to be a Sunday night short one, but we've gone for like 2.25 hours, so... Not 2.25 hours. 2 hours, 13 minutes. Well, that's nearly a quarter. So yeah, Sunday night stream. Thanks for joining me. We had some good chats. We had some good times. The archive will be immediately up after this. Let's do a little zoom in with this. Oh, fuck. Sicky T signing off. Take that away. Take that away. It went the wrong way. And I'll leave you. I'll leave you. Oh, I was gonna do the. I was gonna bring a Runkov up, but it's the fucking. I changed it to the other image. There we go. I'll leave you with your sideways a Runkov. There you go. Where's he gonna turn up next? Where's a Runkov gonna turn up next? Heaven only knows. Right, that's... How do I turn him around? Reset. There we go. So there you go. Ushba Runkov is not in the next Jurassic Park film. Or is he? No, he's not. Alright then, see you later everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. I don't know when the next time will be. Could be a month. It could be tomorrow night. I don't know. It won't be tomorrow night. Right. See you later. Peace out.